everyone's set, we're just going to write the questions at that point. Is everyone sitting down? We'll be good. Is everyone sitting down? Yeah.
Coach, I feel like your guys dealt with the pressure on defense tonight.
Well, Illinois does a terrific job defensively in terms of creating turnovers, and they're so good on the ball, you know, that they force you to play strong all night. If there's one thing that I didn't think we did well was handle the ball well. That we had far too many turnovers. It's interesting, after the game, James was going to be interviewed on TV, and I said, "You did a great job tonight, James." He goes, "You had too many turnovers, man. I got to clean that up." And that's what you want to hear. And he wouldn't have to say that. He could say, "Hey, remember, I got the foul line 14 times or whatever." But it's always good when you hear it.
How important was it just to play with the lead, especially right out the gate, getting up 9 right away?
Yeah, it was really important to, you know, with these guys, to get on top of them and then keep them at arm's length. That's been hard for a lot of teams to do. Gonzaga hasn't done it. Notre Dame didn't do it, and we were able to. But you know, I think getting to the foul line for us was important, and then you know the fact we made some threes tonight helped too. Because if we can do both of those, then you're a tough out.
Coach, is it ever a concern, even though
Yes.
you're up big, even though if you're up big and you're maybe going through some dry spells, but you're still able to maintain a healthy lead by going the charity stripe? Is that an issue with you, or are you happy with just the fact that you're able to maintain that lead?
Well, you're just always worried about being too dependent on free throws because, quite frankly, you're not in control, right? I mean, you can draw up a 3-point field goal, you can throw it inside, but you don't know if you're going to get fouled or not. It's not your decision. It's the other guys, right? So, you know, that's where it gets a little, you know, you don't want to depend on it. We just try and depend on defense. Just get stops, and hopefully our defense will create some offense. And tonight it did just enough, but I don't think we made enough scoring plays in transition. That's something we really have to clean up.
How did you manage your time without Glenn?
Well, first of all, I think you have to commend, you know, Glenn got some, you know, he's just in tough shape with foul trouble. And I think you have to commend Tom Allen, James Palmer, and just, you know, Amir Harris did a really good job just coming in and handling the ball and doing well. And we needed that. And it wasn't always pretty, but that's just the way, you know, they're going to muck it up, so to speak, and you're going to have to deal with it. So it was unfortunate because, you know, but it's part of the deal, you know. And so I was happy with the way our other guys did, but it was not comfortable in any stretch at any point without it.
3-point shooting wise, do you feel like you guys maybe picked your spots a little bit better tonight?
Yeah, I thought that one is, you know, they didn't really allow us out in transition too much, and so you know, what was great to see is I think those second half shots go down. Nana hit a 2. They went zone. Glenn hits a 3. Isaac Copeland hits a 3. Those were really big plays for us. So we've got a lot of guys that can make them. And Wilmot James hit one. And you know, we're not great, but we're great at some other stuff, which is good. We need it.
If you could spurts from Tanner.
Yeah.
How comfortable are you with him?
I'm very comfortable with he and Brady, but you know, I want to play Brady at the 4 eventually. That's what I think he truly is a 4-man, like Copeland. And then, but he needs strength, right? And so I've got really no hesitation playing either of those two guys. It's just hard to play. Subbing, I had a couple lineups in I didn't fall in love with. You know, I just caught myself when I subbed the guy out. I just made a mistake on a couple of things. Without a center, I made Cope play the center, and we missed on a help on a back screen. They got a layup, and so that was just one possession. But at the same time, you know, that would have been a time to get Brady back in there instead of Cope. But so Brady could have played a few more minutes. But I think Tanner has done an exceptional job for us. He's physical. He plays good screen and roll defense. He rebounds really well. I think you can see he's more agile. You know, the screen and roll defense is important, and that's where him being a very good offensive lineman in high school and being a football recruit, you know, he's got good feet, better feet than you'd realize, and so, and he's changed his body so well. He's done a lot to help us, and the guys love having him out there.
I guess Trent Frazier did 9 points. What was kind of the focus on that?
We had to get to both their guards, and Io and Trent, because they're very, very good, and I thought we did a good job on both of them. You just have to they have your full attention all 40 minutes because they're really good. They can hurt you a lot of different ways.
How pleasing is it just to beat that team by 15? Like you said, they pushed Gonzaga, they pushed Notre Dame.
Yeah, well,
I mean, what does that say about your guys?
I like our team, and I'm glad we won. but I'm going to blink, and we're going to be ready for Minnesota on Wednesday, and then we've got another ball game on Saturday. So, I'm happy, but you want to enjoy it. But at the same time, I think when I walked in the locker room after the game, somebody had written Minnesota on the board. I thought that was that's always a mark of somebody's mind's in the right spot. At least one guy, the guy with decent handwriting. So
I feel like your guys kind of loosen up a little bit. Like I know you talked about them being casual, but have they? I don't know. They were a little bit more giggly today than they were usually. Like, do you feel like they've loosened up at all?
Rarely do I see them giggling, so I'm glad you did. But yeah, they're a good bunch of guys. I think it's just when you come in here right away and see all the all these cameras pointing at you and all you guys with your gruff faces and your beards and bald heads and not you. But when you look at all that, and after a while, then you kind of loosen up a little bit. So I think it's just we're getting down the road.
Tim, you kept the game ball tonight. So
Yeah.
What's he meant to you in your time here, and how
Thanks
cool
for
is this to
asking.
see?
Yeah. Well, Kent Pavelka is an icon in my eyes. First of all, not many people get to 1,000 games, and for him to do it, and he's great with the call, and he's truly a homer. Like he is with us, man. He travels with us, and he's part of the team. And so for us to be able to present a game ball to him, honoring him, and be able to get him a jersey and recognize him at halftime, first of all, it's well deserved. And what I have found in my time, Scotty Miller, Rick Burkhamshaw, at guys at North Dakota State and Colorado State. These guys are historians. They on Legends Night, they know every dirty secret that's out there. Like you listen to the play-by-play guy, and he's got some info for you. So, having that, I hope college athletics never loses that, because that's still a cool part of life. And those radio calls and the fact we plug our radio into our broadcast. So that's what, when I watch our games, I can call Kent and say, knock it off, Kent. But he's like I say, he's been great, and I'm happy that we could honor him tonight. I'm really happy we got a W on his 1,000th game.
Anything else for Coach Nelson?
Is there a story with Ken that
Yeah, I couldn't say that in public.
one that you could share with us? That's
Well,
stand up?
I told Kent, I said, Kent, men over 50, like you and I, so I tried to bunch us in the same category, even though I would be the low-hanging fruit, and he'd be the guy way aged, like double ARP. So I said, Kent, it says we need an iconic look, and I said, that's why I'm wearing the frames, is, like, I'm trying to have I said, Kent, what do you think your iconic look would be? And he said, well, Chico, I don't think I have one. I said, well, that's obvious, but what do you think it would? He goes, well, the bow tie. And I said, not the red glasses like Sally, Jesse, Raphael. And he said, no, I gave those up for Lent. And so that's probably the best story I've got with Ken, is we'll continue to see the bow ties, hopefully not the red glasses.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks.
Says.